my beautiful butterflies, welcome back to another video. It's your girl Christina Butterfly, and I'm so excited to be here with y'all. Listen, y'all, this video is going to be real near, dear, and personal to me, but I also feel like it's something that can help somebody, and I have to give credit where it's due. This video came from watching Miss Jemima. That's one of my favorite YouTubers. She did a video on it, and it really touched my heart because I had a whole different experience, but two different people, two very different circumstances, ends with the same results and the same feeling of our choices. So before I get into the video, let me send a special shout out to all my beautiful butterflies who watch my videos every single week. I so love y'all. You are the reason why I continue to show up. Yes, I pray that this channel can get bigger and can grow bigger, but you know what I mean? I show up for you every single week and know that God has a plan of growing us to be even bigger. But y'all are the reason why I keep showing up. And my girl, forever love. Your comments and just your encouragement just is everything to me. And so I do this for you. If you are watching this video for the very first time, welcome. Thank you so much for joining me. My lip ring always be moving all over the place. Thank you so much for joining me. Listen, just go ahead. You're going to want to be a part of the Butterfly Squad. We be talking some real shit over here. So just go on and hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit that bell icon so you'll be notified when I upload every video. And listen, if you watch this video to the end and you enjoy it, please hit that like button. I need y'all to hit that like button so YouTube will know that this video is worth watching. So now let's get into it. So in 2017, I had finally found a doctor that completely just changed my life. From the time I started getting my menstrual period, it was hell. From the very first time I got it, I was 9. It came on for a little bit, went off. But then when I turned 12, it kicked in the door, and wait, then it's for 4. It was hell. I literally was a person who had 7-day periods. I was a person who was excruciating pain. And see, I grew up, my mom was born with arthritis, so I grew up with heavy medication in the house. And I'm talking about taking 5, 6, 800 milligrams of ibuprofen. As I got older and I had my daughters, which I had them as a teenager. After I had them, a period got even worse. After I had my children, it was even worse. So much worse. Every single month. Miss Jemima was saying how she dreaded every month. It takes away your quality of life because literally that 1 week out of every single month, I can't. And when I was working at the time, I couldn't go to work. In elementary and middle and high school, I couldn't. That week of school, I'm out every month for a week. Now, as a kid, you feel what I'm saying? Even though you in all this pain, you like, oh, I'm home. But when you start getting grown and realizing, hold up, you ain't just being stayed home from school and my mom would take for a whole week. No, girl. Now you miss a whole week of work, which means that's a whole week of no money. It was just like, it really do take away your quality of life. You have to plan your whole life around this 1 week every single month. It was excruciating. And I remember times crying. I had a best friend and she would always, and I'm be real 100 with y'all, feel what I'm saying? There was a time that I had a real bad Percocet addiction, and it really was stemmed from the only thing that was taking my pain away. It was a cocktail of pain medicines that I would have to concoct, no lie, put together, and this is my regimen every single month. And when before you look up, you have an addiction, and it's something I had. If I did ibuprofen wasn't enough, just Percocet wasn't enough, just muscle relaxers wasn't enough. It was dilating. It was a whole slew of meds that more than likely was bought off the streets to freaking survive my menstrual cycle. And so for a long time, those are not even an option of having a hysterectomy before 40, 50. You know what I mean? It's not even a conversation that doctors are willing to have. And what amazed me about Miss Jemima's story is how, and I'm going to link the video in the description if you want to go back and watch her story. But what was real impressive about her is that Miss Jemima don't have any children. She knew early on in life that though she loved kids, she didn't want to birth kids herself. She did not want to go through pregnancy. And I understand she had did a disclaimer in doing a full apology out to women who can have children and will do anything in the world to want to have kids. Now let me put this disclaimer. I love my children, all four of them. But if I didn't have the type of mother that I have, maybe only the youngest one would probably exist in real life, because I was 24 when I got pregnant with him. The twins, I'd have gotten an abortion. My oldest son, I was this close to getting an abortion with him. And it was only because they was able to figure out, because it was really early, but he was sitting in a position that they was able to figure out that he was a boy. They seen it immediately. I'm going to just say this. When he came out and got to get circumcised, they had to go look for the largest tool that they had to circumcise my baby. So in utero, they was as shocked as they just was like, you having a boy. And because only have sisters, I don't have any biological boys. My dad always wanted to have a boy. I just felt my dad come up out the grave if I would have aborted him. Now let me say this. I can imagine where my life would be at today without my children. That doesn't mean that I cannot imagine my life without any kids at all. I love my children. I love my grandchildren. My grandson, I will take you off this earth about him. That's my only grandson. You understand what I'm saying? But absolutely, I wonder who my life would have been without it. And so as a woman, to make a choice and decision to say, yes, I know I'm a woman and I know I'm supposed to want to have children, but I don't want to go through labor. I don't feel what I'm saying. I hated one thing. There's not a pregnancy I loved. I hated being pregnant. I hated being pregnant with an ultimate passion. If I could have had my kids without being pregnant, I had 30 of them. I can't stand pregnancy, labor, none of it. I can't. Miss Jemima said, I ain't want to have no parts of it. She said she feels like it's an abomination, atrocious. She said something that was like, she said diabolical. Like, she just was like, nope. And I get it. She said, I love kids. I feel like I would be an amazing foster mom, which I think is, and let me tell you something. When you choose to say, listen, I don't want to bring no kids out in this world, but I would love to be in a position to help save children that's already here, you're a mom, honey. You as a mom. And that you do that when you decide this is time, that I'm ready. I feel like at some point in my life, because this period, I've been a mom since I was 16. These semi years is about me, myself, and you feel me? But after that, and I get into my forever home, and I know that this is okay, this is it, I'm cool, I'm settled, I'm in a financial position to be able to be a foster parent, because I want that income for the foster kid to be an add-on and for them, and not money that I need to survive. You understand what I'm telling you? One of the, you know what I mean? I want to be able to be financially secure, so that money to come for them is just an add-on. You feel what I'm saying? Or mostly spent on the foster kid, and not, I got to pay bills on that and the third and the other. So anyway, she was saying how that she could see herself doing that, but having a baby, out of the question. So then she decided to get a doctor. She was over all of the pain, all of the medicine, and she found a doctor who agreed to, after many asking, she said she never got an outright no. It was just like a constant over and over again. You sure? Oh, you sure? All right, well, you showed it. You feel me? That wasn't my experience. My experience was you might want more kids. I had my youngest son at 25, and they hung on until I might wanted to have more kids. And I said after I had my youngest son, I was done. It took almost 10 years for me to get my hysterectomy, because I've had so many gynecologists tell me no. that it took for me to walk into this office of this little old white man, y'all. This man was old. He was at least 70 plus. Been up woman's coochies for 60 years. He lying, y'all. And I told him my story, and he said, and by this time, I did my, no. I just had one granddaughter. Because none of my other children started having kids yet. I just had my one granddaughter. And for me, this was another thing that I feel like I'm already a statistic in so many ways, right? I'm a teen mom. I've been homeless. I've been in jail. I've been an addict. All the things. High school dropout. All the statistics. One statistic I absolutely wanted to avoid was having any children younger than my grandchildren. I didn't want that. You feel me? I didn't want another statistic put on me. So I made that choice. When he said, are you planning to have any more kids? No, absolutely not. That ship had sailed when my daughter, and I was this close of being that statistic. My granddaughter was born 2013. I had a tubal pregnancy either 2014 or 2015. I was these close. That shit, and I found out I was pregnant during a manic episode induced by the tubal pregnancy. So I wake up in a mental hospital not knowing what the hell is going on. They're like, you're pregnant, but we think something is up. They go in to look and finds out it's a tubal pregnancy. They had to remove the whole tube. So these were consistent. My first tubal pregnancy was 14. That was the first time I had a DNC. It was the first time I had parts of my tubes removed. And it was hell and chaos. It started off hell and chaos. So when the doctor said to me, are you ready? Or you want to have? Yes, sir. Please take it out, donate it to science, to the highest bidder, to the next chick. I wish they can do uterus transplants. You can take the uterus out, clean it up, get it, you feel what I'm saying, and we can place it in somebody. Because having kids wasn't a problem, obviously. Getting pregnant was not an issue, even though they thought that it'd be very difficult for me to get pregnant. After that pregnancy at 14, my dad died at 15. I get pregnant 2 months after my dad died with my twins. I feel like that baby that I lost when I got pregnant again came back. I don't know which one, if it was Malika or Malia, but one of them babies was like, I'm coming back, try this again. Baby don't mind. It's part of my religious beliefs. But you guys, so I said absolutely. Now, this is where me and Miss Jemima goes separate ways. So her doctor said to her that she was going to get the liposcopic procedure. I believe I'm saying that right, which would be a miracle. But it is literally the robotics mechanical hand procedure to where you get 3 small incisions on your stomach. Maybe 4. It might be 4. It might be 4. Small incisions on your stomach, and the recovery process is you go home the same day. It's a very light procedure. Now, let me keep this clear. I had a C-section with my daughters, and that tubal pregnancy in 2015, they still was going in doing bikini cuts, okay? They didn't have robotics hands. So when I got offered that, it was non-negotiable. Now, Miss Jemima was saying how doctors in Atlanta, or I never experienced it, but she said it's a known thing that they don't really have great experiences with doctors in Atlanta, Georgia. I was in Trenton, New Jersey. And even though I had this older black white man, well, let me just say this. I went with the mechanical part in the first place. I was over being sliced open. At that point, they still was putting staples in. You feel what I'm saying? Once you get, cut, and I'm cool. Recovery is a very long process. Miss Jemima said that her friends who had the surgery prior, for whatever reason, she said none of them actually had a hysterectomy, but they've had some type of surgery using the same mechanical hands. And hers was done in 2024. Mine was done in 2007. Miss Jemima said that because of what her friends had said, it scared her, so she called her doctor and asked her if she can have a different option of when they can go in, cut her open, put her to sleep, and she'd be there for a couple days. She said the doctor did not explain the procedure to her until the day she had to show up for the procedure. And poor baby, poor. And I don't want to say it to sound like, oh, no, real shit. I hate every she went through in that process. I hate it with a passion because my experience was not that way. It literally was in and out. The same day I had the surgery, I left this same day. My mom was there to help me, you feel what I'm saying, to start healing and moving around. But in fact, my mom came and stayed with me a week after that surgery. It was just hold little couple hold my mom because she did home health aid. So she just would clean and change my bandages and make sure I got up and walked around. But the healing process was, and I've been through before because of previously in the past, I know the difference. Only thing is so funny though, after her procedure, she had an episode of a situation where she basically was catching sectus. She had an issue going on with a booty hole. She laughed about it, so I laugh about it, but it was really a real serious thing. It felt like the inside of her was contracting. She was really going through a lot. I also had something that happened. I developed a cyst the size of a grapefruit sitting right in the same area that my uterus sat in. And so maybe about 4 weeks later, I had to go right back in for emergency surgery. And the same doctor who did my hysterectomy was the same doctor who used the same mechanical hands and went right back into the same holes to remove the cyst out. He did keep me overnight that day just to make sure, because it was like, because if you go through the same home, I had got my tongue pierced twice and they pierced it through the same hole, and the second recovery was way worse than the first recovery. So when you re-go into a wound, it takes a little longer for that process to heal. So he did keep me in there until the next day to make sure that I was good and that I didn't catch any fevers or anything like that. But after that, he's 24 hours, he sent me home. And that time my mom didn't come back up, but I had my sons. I had both my boys, and so they really helped their mama and made sure their mama was good. But I will say this, at the end of it, Miss Jemima said that it was the best decision she could have ever made for herself. So many times I talk to women who believe that getting a hysterectomy makes them feel less than a woman. Meanwhile, their quality of life, your mental health, the pain, the stress, the planning. I can't just get up. I needed pads, tampons, sometimes diapers. Imagine you were in your early 30s and your period can be so bad that you literally have to wear an adult diaper. I used to have to get the biggest tampons they had with the longest pad, with the wings, the pain, the anguish. It was agonizing. And the freedom that I have now, the quality of life that I have now, I feel more, way more free. And I wish I could put my body in women sometimes, because I don't know how to tell you, but you will not think twice about it. You will be so grateful to never bleed again. You're not going to know what to do with your life, honey. I don't know no other way to be able to tell you that. You're not going to feel like you're not a woman anymore. It's not like breast cancer where you can look in the mirror and see that you had to get your breast removed. You see that every day. You don't look in the mirror and see your uterus, sugar. You don't. Like, your quality of life, whether you know it or not, will increase. You feel what I'm saying? If you have a doctor that is telling you no, get you another doctor. You feel what I'm saying? Make the best decision for you and your body. Now, one thing Miss Jemima did say, that if there's any part of you that think that might, I tell you this, I never got my tubes tied. And that was because I, deep down inside, kind of hoped that maybe one day I could have a baby with my husband or somebody who really wants to be a dad and I act like they want to be a dad. And like I said, once my daughter had her daughter, that idea started going further and further away. And then the older my youngest son was getting, the more I was like, girl, you want to start over? So when it came to the hysterectomy and all the things that I was going through after I had it, I had to go for a follow-up appointment, and for a brief moment going in there and seeing all the women that were pregnant, my mom was with me, and seeing all the women that were pregnant, for a brief moment, I almost broke down. And it was the reality of, even if there could have been, it's the final of death. The hardest thing about death is that it's final. It's absolutely final. If you had any other side issues, problems, none of that, it's final. So you will never see this person face to face again. You might feel their energy, you might feel their presence, they might come visit you in your dreams, you might go visit them, but you will never ever see them face to face again until you yourself cross over. And so it was just that nail in the coffin. And my mom said to the nurse, listen, I think you need to, she's just doing a follow-up from a hysterectomy. She's about to have a whole breakdown. You need to get it in and out. And that's exactly what they did. That, thank God. My mom, one thing I say about my mother, she plays no games about her girls. Do you understand me? I'm the oldest. I'm her firstborn. She plays about me. She don't play about me. She don't play about Stephanie. She don't play about Jennifer. She do not play no games. You understand me? My mother, she only 4'11", y'all, and she will kick in the door. You understand me? Waving the fofo. What y'all doing? And she a little Christian woman too. She'll talk to you all stern with the conviction of the Holy Spirit. Listen, she literally moved mountains. And before I knew it, they swooped me up and put me back there in this room and checked in that room, and then swoop, bing, bang, we got your blood work, all that and the third, out the door. Here you go home. Bypassed me, all the ladies, and got me up out of there. 2 weeks later was once I realized, like, the next month, and your period's supposed to come and it don't show up. The pain of endometriosis, the pain was immediately gone. You feel achy and sore, but the quality of life I got back. So listen, this is just my story. I was quite early. I don't even think I said my age. I was 37 years old. Because it was February, so it was before my birthday. So I was 37 years old. And I'll never forget, it was February 1st because my mom's surgery was March 1st after that. Because she had to get a metal rod in her leg and the whole thing. And so I had major surgery on February 1st. And my mom came down and took care of me. And then when she had her major surgery, me and my sisters was there. And, so I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope that this video learned something. I pray that this video reaches women who have either a hysterectomy and understand exactly what I am talking about, who have had endometriosis and get it, or women who may be currently suffering from it, not sure the choices or decisions you want to make. I'll tell you this, if you have more kids, there are other endometriosis options that you can utilize if you feel like you want to have children, and don't jeopardize that. But if you already had kids, or in your soul, your mind, your heart, and everything in between, know that you and your beg of you, please, you do not have to suffer. Life is not meant to just suffer in pain. It isn't. Sometimes making a decision to just get rid of it is what God is saying, to stand up for yourself. You feel what I'm saying? Is taking charge with yourself. Like people so quick to give us hysterectomy. Doctors are very, quick. Funny, they are selected few, but especially, us. I get it. I freaking get it. But the quality of my life, you can decide. You feel what I'm saying? You do not have to suffer with periods at 50, 60 years old if you ain't got no, like it's guaranteed that you're going to go through menopause at a specific time. Like, you got women who don't start their menopause until they're in their 60s. And quite frankly, I didn't have 30 more years left of being in pain. I just didn't, you know? So, best decision you need to make for yourself. Don't let people shame you or making a decision that is not. Because I had people say to me, girl, no, don't you do that. Don't you let them take out your uterus. They always quick to take something out of our body. You ain't the one who's suffering with this shit. And if you are and you can deal with it, kudos to you. But stop telling what others. We have to stop telling other women what to do with our body. And that includes us women talking to other women. We have to stop it. We have to stop shaming women for making decisions that's best for themselves. Okay? All right. I love you guys so very much. You know what I'm going to say. Listen, know this for sure. Okay? Nothing else is happening to you. But everything, and when I say everything, I mean everything happening for you, and it's happening for your greatness. So go out in this world and be freaking fucking great. Do you understand me? Don't let nobody stop you from reaching your goals, your dreams, whatever you aspire to be. Do it. Don't let your age, nothing. As long as God opens your eye up every morning, you have another opportunity and chance to live your dream, okay? All right? All right. So you know what I'm going to tell y'all. Yo, butterfly. Y'all listening? Butterflies squat up. Period.